Drivers, to your cars.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Michigan International, here for qualifying. Starting off here, this is a little bit different than what you usually see on this channel. You saw there, this is actually a replay file there. You can see that Sean Fay was actually out on the track for qualifying, which you don't usually see. I usually tell everybody to look up at the top left of the screen because there's nobody that's on the track. The reason why this is because we have made a little bit of changes throughout this weekend, and we decided that the live portions of this have just been a little bit too much of a strain on the people who actually want to race, myself included. And so we've decided that we're going to take a more simpler approach, as we do plan on doing bigger things with this, but we're going to downscale a little bit just for our sake, and hopefully you all understand. We're going to be doing one race per weekend, uploaded onto this channel, and basically we're going to take the 4 races that we do on the weekend, and we're going to find which one was the most interesting out of all of them, and then we're going to upload that. Pretty much what that is, that we're going to have one race, and hopefully this doesn't seem like too drastic of a change. As you can see, David Alvarez with a 36.490 there, and a 68 on the leaderboard. But we just wanted to let everybody know that. Because, you know, we don't want to make it seem like that this was a live recording. You can obviously tell that it isn't by looking at the bottom left of the screen, because usually you wouldn't have that there. But anyhow, anyways, enjoy the race. We don't want to take away anything from the experience. As we look at qualifying right now, I actually wasn't at this race, so I wasn't able to see what went on. So you'll be just as surprised as me whenever this stuff happens. So, hopefully you enjoyed that, as we see Jonathan Fitzwater on the top with a 36.345 in the 05 car, as they make their rounds and pretty much done the qualifying there. Looks like we got 6 cars out on the track right now. We have Max Yerk in the 26, David Alvarez 68, Sean Fay in the 24, Adam Harrington in the 20, Kurt Scott in the 15, and Jonathan Fitzwater in the 05. The only car that you won't be familiar with here is the 26 of Max Yerk. I don't believe that he'll be racing any too many races this season, but this would be his first start in the Main NASCAR Series. As you can see, Sean Fay over there in the pits, and like I said, this is actually his replay file that I'm using, so that's why you see him on the track. This isn't usual for qualifying in any sense, but we're almost done here with qualifying. As I think actually, yeah, we're going to be moving into happy hour here real quick. And now that we're in happy hour, it's now time to go down trackside for the pre-race ceremonies. Even if it's not a live recording, we still do this because it's fun. And so now we're going to go trackside to get the pre-race ceremonies.
And now, for the invocation.
Almighty God, we thank you for today and allowing all of us to come to Michigan International Speedway for another great race. Keep our teams and drivers safe as they compete for us today. And as we celebrate Flag Day, we ask a special blessing on our servicemen and women and their families. And we ask this all with great faith, hope, and love. Amen.
And now, for the singing of our nation's national anthem.
As always, a great invocation and national anthem. I thought it was funny. It's actually Flag Day as we're recording this, and it was funny that he mentioned Flag Day in his prayer. That was actually a pretty cool thing. But since we're here in a pre-recorded land and not in live land, we can actually skip right over to the race here, as we will do. And now we have 70 laps to look forward to. We will not skip through these because there's no real point in doing that. What I will say is that a lot of the pace laps will probably be skipping through because I don't think anybody's really bothered by seeing that. But other than that, you're going to get this pretty much unfiltered, just as the live recordings are. And actually, I don't really know what happens during this race, so you guys will just be as surprised as mine, like I said. So glad you're here watching this as the pace car is off after 40 seconds. Okay, you know what? It's fine. I guess we just got the command for some reason, but whatever. It's all right. Jonathan Fitzwater in the 05 is your pole sitter for today, along with David Alvarez in second place. Kurt Scott is in third place. Oh, jeez. Sean Fay will be fourth. If I can get back over here. Adam Harrington in fifth. And Max Urich in the 26th in sixth place. Pretty interesting. A Ford Fusion is up in the front. We usually see Chevys up at the front. But here we have a Ford Fusion, probably the only one in the entirety of the Main NASCAR Series. A lot of people use Chevrolets, even though they are slightly overrated, especially for this season. But yeah, well, I mean, we still got a majority Chevy field. We do have a Toyota back there, Adam Harrington, but the rest are Chevys. And that's a new paint scheme for Kurt Scott. We can actually see his paint scheme for once, which is a miracle in of itself. We actually have a full field of cars where you can see their paint scheme. It's wonderful, folks. Here we go. The pace car is about to peel off, and now it's time for arguably the second most famous words in motorsports.
Flags in the air. We're going racing, folks. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Coming off of turn number 4, David Alvarez takes the early lead from Jonathan Fitzwater as they come down for the second lap. We have 70 laps of racing ahead of us in this race. We get down to 69 here. David Alvarez and the number 68 driving the 711 Chevrolet. Tribute to, I believe, his grandfather there in the 68 as we have a 3-car battle forming up here. That's Sean Fay in the 24. Jonathan Fitzwater in second place, and David Alvarez in first. Coming down toward the line. Very close to the wall there, but they were able to hang on. Professional drivers here, ladies and gentlemen. That 05 is still on the back bumper. As we look on board, looks like he's pretty even here with the 68-68 moving up the track just slightly. He's able to hang on to it though. Fitzwater hangs in as well. And just behind him, not too far behind as he is with David Alvarez, the 24, Sean Fay. Side by side for the lead. Here comes Fitzwater down to the inside, looking for the lead, and he'll lead that lap as they come across the line. Will he be able to get him here in turn 1? Like he was about to slide up the track just a bit there. I think they're still side by side. Yes, they are. Down the backstretch they go. Sean Fay looks towards the middle. Where will he go? Who will he help out? He moves to the outside with David Alvarez. Kind of points it towards the middle there. Oh, and Fitzwater looks like he's getting a little bit loose. The 68 rides up the hill, and he clears him. Fitzwater takes over the position. David Alvarez falls back to second place. It looked like that Sean was about to capitalize there, but he was not able to. A pretty clean start for these guys. Oh, Sean's smoking, and there goes Fitzwater around into the wall. Backs his Ford into the wall, and oh no! Adam Harrington hard into the inside wall, and the caution will wave. And look at that, Kurt Scott moves up to the second place as David Alvarez comes back out of turn 4 as he comes back to the caution flag. Adam Harrington hard into the inside wall there. Jonathan Fitzwater was the first car to go completely around. 24 went sideways at first, and there you see the flattened back end of Fitzwater's Ford Fusion. I believe that's worth a replay. Let's take a look. We're going to look from the helicopter here. As Fitzwater makes his way through turn 3. Turn 2, I should say. Oh, yeah. You see, the 24 got a little loose there. It looked like it was completely unrelated, though. Fitzwater just got loose and car carried up into the wall. Was there any contact between him and the 20? No, the 20 just was trying to avoid here. As you see. And this is going to be a hard hit here. He's going to back right into that safer barrier. Hard hit for him. It even damaged some of the front end just from that force. As you can see there. Let's look from this camera. You see the 05 already around. Backs into the safer barrier. Watch the 20 here. He's going to try to avoid here, and he has a loose setup as well. Car just carries off towards the inside wall. And there you see the 20. Hard into the inside wall. You see it picked up the rear wall, rear tires off the ground, I should say. Very hard hit. Going down pit road here, David Alvarez, Kurt Scott, along with Max Yurka. Looks like he's got some right side damage. Must have gotten into the wall a couple of times there. Let's look on pit road as they make their rounds. He just got fuel, it looks like. Looks like the 26 will actually be the first car on the field as they make their pit stops. There is David Alvarez off first. Kurt Scott off second. And of course, Sean Fay third. Fitzwater actually got off pretty quick as well, for what it was worth. And so now we got the one to go here. David Alvarez out in front, I think. Yes, he is. I think the 26 went back into the pits. The 20 of Adam Harrington, I believe, is still on pit road. Or no, he isn't. Yes, he's coming back over here. We'll see how well he runs with his battered up race car. But it'll be David Alvarez who will be leading the field down, along with Kurt Scott. That's a very nice paint scheme by him, based off of Steve Park's first paint scheme. There was actually a paint scheme after that one, where the top of the car wasn't black and with a yellow on top. It was actually yellow with a black number, or a red number on top. So that's his 1998 scheme, I would say. But a very nice paint scheme nonetheless. Jonathan Fitzwater is somehow in 3rd place there, even though he has a flattened back end. We'll see how that goes for him. Adam Harrington is going to be 4th somehow. Sean Fay 5th. And Max Urich 6th. Now, we don't have the in-game chat, so we're not able to see what the drivers were saying throughout here, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Here we go. Looks like Fitzwater's going to try to give the push to the 15. Couldn't do it. Slides back. Green flag is out here at lap 9. Side by side for the lead. Good clean restart there. No issues so far. The 05 is actually making good pace. At least here on the first lap. We'll see how it carries. David Alvarez continues the lead. He's becoming one of those stars in the Main NASCAR Series, for sure. As they head down for the line, lap 10, just about 1/7 of the way through this race. David Alvarez is gapping 2nd place, but the 15 is closing back in here through the middle of the corner. Jonathan Fitzwater now about to be passed by Sean Fay, 24, as we go on board with him. And look at that, a battle for the lead. Makes it 6, side by side. He's still in the corner panel, not able to do it. But behind, Sean Fay still side by side with Jonathan Fitzwater. And he's going to be able to get by him going into turn 1. 15 makes another bid at it. Here he goes down to the inside. He's actually got a run up on him right here. He's going to try to use the draft from the 24 back there to get him. Oh, almost took the bumper right off of that 68 Chevrolet. Drives it in there good. Let's see if it pays off. He's got side by side. Down to the inside to try to get some more traction. Moves up. He's not getting help from that 24. He's going to need that push to get around. We got a lap traffic up ahead. That's Max Urich in the 26. I believe Kurt Scott will be able to clear him. That was a very, very clean cut right there. I'll tell you what. And here comes the 68 back down to the inside. He's going to try to make another run here. Oh, slipped up just a bit. Off of corner number 4, David Alvarez gets back to the lead. Here comes the 24. Sean Fay, all that skirmishing left him to get up close and make a battle. 3-car battle for the lead. Here comes Sean Fay down to the inside. Let's look on board. Looks like there's some smoke up here. No caution though. You hear tires squealing right there. That's not good. Oh, he's sliding up the track. Oh, got into the wall there. So Sean is going to slip back. Let's go on board with Kurt Scott, who is still right on the tail of the 68. Drives it in good. Isn't able. Needs to find a way to point his car down there and get underneath. On board with David Alvarez here, looking back at Kurt Scott. He's able to make a run up there in the middle of the corner, and he's able to hang on through the exit. That's one advantage that Kurt has over him. We'll see if he'll be able to make it to his advantage. You see right there, he pulls up really good in the center. He's really trying to get up there. You see, Makes a run. Oh, the 68 slipped up a bit. Oh, he's into the wall! David Alvarez got up into the wall there coming off a 4, and now I'll leave Kurt Scott room to take over the lead. Looking from here, it doesn't look like it was that big of a scratch. I don't think it really affected much. David Alvarez now back at the pursuit. And I'll tell you what, David definitely has the stuff to get back up there. The question is Kurt Scott block? Because we know that Kurt Scott, he'll block a seagull going down the back stretch. He'll block anything that comes behind him. It's a little early to do that, though, but a very good, clean battle so far between these guys. Clean as in they haven't touched each other. Of course, the 68 has gotten up into the wall and also has Sean Fay. But so far, they have not made contact, I should say. 15 is keeping his distance, though. That pulling up in the corners is really paying off for him. Let's watch from high above here for a couple of laps through this 2-mile super speedway, technically. Which again, I mean, it is called a speedway, I'm pretty sure. But by definition, it is technically a super speedway because it is 2 miles or more. Here comes David Alvarez down to the inside. Side by side, he's slipping up a bit. I don't think he's going to be able to hang on here coming off the corner. Oh, wait a minute. Moves all the way down to the white line. Ah, that's not going to do it. Wait a minute. He might still have it. Yep, he's still got the corner panel. Moves down to the inside. Ooh, got loose. Man, these guys have really loose setups for this track. And that just propelled Kurt Scott into the lead. Kurt seems to be a lot more, how should I say, a lot more, God, what is the word I'm thinking of? Samey, like, more, he's able to do everything right at each time, and he's not wavering. I cannot remember what the word is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I really don't know. You know, it doesn't matter. We're going back to TV1 here as they come off before. It is still Kurt Scott out in front. Sean Fay is actually making up some ground here. He's been inching his way closer to the boys up front. Jonathan Fitzwater is still in the lead lap, only 6 seconds behind. 7 seconds, I should say. And the other 2 guys are pretty much off the track now. I don't think that they're on the track. We can pretty much count them out. Yeah. Adam Harrington and Max Urick are pretty much out of the race. At least as far as we're concerned. They're showing up on the camera, so we can assume that they are not in the race. We're actually approaching halfway here, and I think that once we hit around lap 40 or so, we'll be able to see some green flag pit stops roll around, 40, 50, around there. But these two are still going at it. David is still making up ground slowly but surely. I'm trying to make a run here. I think he's going to try to wait it out a little bit, to see if Kurt makes a mistake here. You see, Kurt's moving up the track a little bit. The tires are getting a little worn out. It's not holding the track as well as it was before. It's starting to slide up. I think David is just hoping that he slides up too much and he'll be able to capitalize on it. Had to let off there a little bit. He was about to hit the wall. You can tell if he didn't hit those, let off there, he definitely would have gone to the wall. These guys are very consistent on the run. That's the word. Consistent. Kurt Scott has been very consistent in how he runs, and you see he's doing that. He's doing that little bit of a blocking move there. Want to keep the 68 behind. Make sure that he's always in his mirror. And the thing is, I don't think that Kurt's really going to need to worry here, because it seems like David is a little too loose to actually make any passes on the inside. I think the only way that David's going to make a run is on the outside, and I don't think his car is set up for that. I think it's only for middle bottom. "25 laps in." Oh my goodness, wow, the 68 is right on the back bumper. Wow, did you see that? Going on board here as we go down the back stretch. Yeah, it's safe to say that those two in the 5th and 6th positions are out of it, and they're not going to be in contention anytime soon. So pretty much, this is going to be a 4-car battle, and even then, I don't think the 05 has much of a fighting chance. Coming down towards turn 1, 68's going to try to make a run once again. I think we're going to have a green flag run until the end, because the only way that we can have a caution is between these two up here, or if Sean gets loose again. I don't know, maybe we will have a caution, another caution, but we'll have to see. This is a lot better recording when I haven't seen the race than it would have been if I already seen it, because then I'd be lying to myself pretty much like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next, huh? And it seems like with these pre-recorded stuff, I can be a little more casual. Not as uptight as I usually am, because pretty sure you've seen with the broadcast that I'm usually pretty standard with my stuff. But it's whatever. In fact, now that ooh, 68. David Alvarez got up into the wall there a little bit. You can see on the side, not much is different. I don't think it hurt anything. Anyhow, now that me, Sean, and other guys have more time to race, we'll actually be on the track more, and it should make the races a little more interesting to have more people out every weekend. It is Thursday as we are recording this, so we will be doing the NASCAR Classic Cup Series tomorrow. And like I said, we're going to be uploading these. We're going to be uploading the races once every week, and we're going to find one race that is the most interesting out of all the bunch, and then we're going to upload that one. We will not be streaming because it just is a little too much work for us, at least at the moment. Hopefully we'll have something resolved for the next season of R&R, and it will be bigger and better than we could imagine. But for now, we're going to try to keep it simple as we approach lap 30 here. Kurt Scott leading. I would take a guess and say that he's probably going to lead the most laps out of today. It's either he or David Alvarez. David's falling back a little bit. I think he might be trying to conserve his stuff right now. Sean Fay, not able to come up there after something happened. Did he get up into the... Almost looks like it. We'll see from this camera angle. It looks like that there's a bit of a gash in the side. You look there. Yeah, there's some damage. He got up into the wall pretty hard at some point. That might be contributing to him sliding back. Maybe a pit stop would be a good thing for him. Maybe a caution would be even better. As we're approaching halfway here, we'll probably get this race done here in about 40 or so. Well, probably in about another 20-25 minutes. David Alvarez still in second place. Kurt Scott on front. And if anybody out there who isn't signed up for anything, if you do want to join R&R or anything, it's okay. You can join in at any time you really want to. We're not even close to having any chase races so far, so there is still time to sign up and race. And I believe there is a Discord link on this YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we're still doing all the races. We're still racing all of them. We're just not going to be uploading all of them, just for you know, simplistic save. That is a very, like I said before, that is a very nice paint scheme, and it's good because now we don't have to see that generic anime car scheme like we always do with Kurt Scott. Which I feel bad for him, just for that fact. Is that, I mean, he basically used Ross Chastain's scheme, but it's still frustrating that he couldn't get the schemes that he wanted recorded, but this is still pretty cool. I know one of his teammates who's an RDL, who is a big fan, is actually a well, I mean, I'm not really saying a big fan of Steve Park, but he does like him, and he runs the #1 in RDL. Sure that'd be a paint scheme he'd definitely want for Main NASCAR Series once he gets in. We will have to see in the future. Let's ride along with Kurt Scott here for a couple of laps. Full crowd on hand this race, which is nice. And like I said, we should be seeing green flag pit stops come up here around like lap 45 or so. So we'll see how those two up in the front, how they handle their pit stops. It seems like they're going to need it here in a couple of laps. See, David looks, I feel like that he's conserving. I don't think that he's like, you know, damaged or anything. That's why he's hanging back there. I think it's specifically that he just wants to save his stuff and not get into any, you know, nitty-gritty battles. Or he'll mess his car up. I mean, we can see there is pretty much no damage on that 68 machine, so we can pretty much write out that there is no oh, well, he got up into the wall there, proving me wrong. It wasn't that hard of a hit, though. You can see that there's not much of damage on the side. I think we'll be able to see the side here once again. Yeah, there's no damage. But that still does slow him down, so it's not helping him get any closer to Kurt here. Now remember, if you lead the most laps, you get 5 bonus points in the standings. So I'd say that Kurt Scott's going to get it pretty easy peasy here. Of course, this happened just a few days ago, so they know better than I do who got the 5 bonus points. Maybe it's not David or Kurt. Maybe it was Sean. I don't know. Could possibly be anything. What I do know is right now we got 2 drivers out here who are really working hard against each other. You know, Sean, who still has a fighting chance, just not up there in the battle. Who'd also be conserving as well, just taking early conservative brakes there. And we got a 4th place car that is battered up, so I don't think that he'll really have too much of a chance unless he gets a good pit stop or something and rides the wave home. We'll have to see. We're halfway through this race now. We are just past halfway. And like I said, we have a green flag pit stop that we should be looking forward to, and I think that will be the only one that we should see. Other than that, I think that will be it for pits today, unless we have a caution. Then there, of course, will be another pit cycle. But it doesn't look like there's much room for there to be a caution at anyways. They're very spread out. The only way that there could really be a caution right now is if somebody broke loose. Ran into the wall hard. That's pretty much all I can think of. The 15 is very consistent in his ride. It looked like he's not actually wavering that much. He's moving up the track more and more, and that's just because, you know, he's losing grip and he just needs to find it somewhere. So, yeah, just naturally the car will move up along the racetrack. But you see he's actually running a very consistent laps here. You see up there in the top right, you'll see the times when they come in. They aren't that far off from each other. But the field spread out like this, it's almost like a weird like practice session almost. And watch the time come in here. You'll see it's not. I think that was the exact same time. That was the exact same time as his last lap. That's incredible. You can't do that very often. Oh! I think David got up into the wall there. Let's just make sure. And yeah, got into the wall. He's coming across the line, lap 44. So, once these guys go down pit road, I think the real question is who out of the top two is going to come out first? Because it could be possible that they could have a bad pit stop. There's always the chance for that. I have the R&R sheet in front of me, but I don't really want to look at the points because then I'll figure out who actually won this. And something tells me it's going to be a close battle. I don't know what tells me that. It's probably lying to me, though. But David Alvarez is falling back consistently, also is Sean and all of them. I think even Kurt right now is conserving a bit, although he is increasing his time. He got a 37.485 that last time. It's better than a 37.5, so he might not be letting up. Maybe he wants as much distance from himself, so that way when he goes down pit road, he'll be able to get a jump on everybody else. David Alvarez running a good race, but it looks like that consistency is going to be the factor here. If you can be consistent, you can win this race. Here's Sean Fay. You can see some damage on the side there. He has some pretty substantial damage. It looks like he's gotten into the wall a couple of times now. tires squealing. I have a feeling that's also contributing to it. There he goes, down pit road, and also David Alvarez. I don't believe the 15 that Kurt Scott has, and he hasn't. Oh my goodness. Well, this is something, isn't it? As they hang down pit road. We'll watch from this camera angle. And this is good for Sean, because now he has a chance to stay up in the lead. Now, will David go for... I think they're all going to go for 4 tires here. I mean, that just seems like... Oh, he got blocked by the 05. Looks like Sean will be a little too late on that end. But this is bad for Kurt Scott. This is a late pit entry. This is not something he really wanted to see. So Fitzwater actually made it out before Sean Fay. And so that means that Fitzwater will be in 3rd place by the time these things all roll around. So David Alvarez is taking back the lead here at lap 49. It will be. And so we'll see if something shakes up this field somehow. Kurt Scott might actually go a lap down here. You see right up there, David Alvarez in here. Wow, how the tables have turned. So we're almost at 20 laps to go in this race, and somehow it still shows Kurt Scott in the lead. That is really interesting. So David is not in the lead. It is Kurt Scott who is out in front. So nothing really has changed, actually. David is a bit closer. He'll just have to hustle here. He's going to have to make some bold decisions here to make it up there. And now, oh, I think there's a battle between Sean Fay and Fitzwater. Doesn't look like it was that much of a battle, though. As Sean goes by for 3rd place. Yeah, it looks like David is slipping back a bit. 15 is still running a very consistent race today. I wonder, what can the 68 do about it? It's going to take Kurt Scott messing up here, or a caution coming out, to tighten this pack back up. Another 5/10 there, gap there between 1st and 2nd. That just shows you how good of a car Kurt has for this track. Slides up the track there just a bit. I don't think he's hit the wall once today. Which is incredible because pretty much everybody here has. Seemed like everybody was running like 204 going into the corner. Yet now it doesn't look like they're doing much of that. Maybe it's on this end of the speedway, I was thinking. No? Guess not. But Kurt's still keeping his distance. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the Michigan International Speedway race. Pure Michigan 140 for the Main NASCAR Series. I think Kurt almost brushed the wall there. He came close. With no cigar. $15 laps to go in this race. 15 out in front. 4 cars to decide it all. But right now, it's a one-man show. There's a battle for 3rd place that's taking place somehow. And John is still able to hang strong with that 24. Actually makes a run up on it here. Whoa, and the 24 hit the wall. Yeah, that was not a good thing for Sean. And you see the damage on the right side. Look at here. Yeah, that's a flattened right side if I've ever seen one. That might actually be an issue later on down the line. He might pop a tire because of it. That just makes it easier for Kurt Scott to move up on him. But that allows the 05 of Jonathan Fitzwater to move up to 3rd place. I have a feeling that that battle is not going to end anytime soon, though. They're still pretty close on the track. I think now it's just a matter of whether or not they're going to be lapped. And you can see the skid marks on the track where Sean's been dragging the tires. I feel like that there's just maybe it's too much air pressure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what could really be causing that. It just seems like an overly tight setup for what it is. Meanwhile, Kurt Scott, as they come off of turn 2, moves down to turn 1. I think actually they're pretty safe from getting lapped here. I don't think that they have much to worry about. We still got a long ways to go, but I don't think it's that long that they're going to get lapped here anytime soon. Oh my goodness, yeah, wow. He is very slow going through this. Or at least it seems like it. Yeah, listen to that. That is not a happy car. Honestly, I mean, if I were him, I'd probably go down pit road, but hindsight's 2020. Ten laps remaining here at Michigan International. Kurt Scott only winning 1 race in this season so far, looking for his 2nd career win in the Main NASCAR Series. He won at Auto Club, which is a very similar track to this one. A 2-mile oval with a curved front stretch. Looks like he's going to try to be a Kyle Larson here. Camaro and everything. Going to try to dominate the 2-mile ovals. He's about 8 laps away from getting it done. Closest car to him right now is David Alvarez, who is about 12 seconds back. And he's into the wall. So that pretty much tells you there. You're going to have to try something real hard here to get to Kurt. Kurt flying around here like a speeding yellow bullet. Seven laps to go in this race, and we don't have to worry about any more green flag pit stops. Cautions, I don't know if that's really going to be a factor. Right now it is Kurt Scott's race to lose as he comes down for 6 laps to go. He drove a clean race so far, had a great side-by-side battle with David Alvarez in the early going. Small little troubles for David led to this wide margin between him and Kurt Scott. And now it seems Scott is going to try to take this win away. He's won in other series too. Yes, he has. He's won in the NASCAR Classic Cup Series twice. He has won in the Keystone Light Super Truck Series once, and none in dirt. But now he's ready to take his second career win here at Michigan International and the Main NASCAR Series. His main rival, David Alvarez, has won 2 races so far. But now it is Kurt Scott's turn, apparently. 4 laps to go. And remember, his team, Kurt Scott Motorsports, all the drivers except for him are in RDL, which is a points-paying league, points-paying series, but it's meant for developmental drivers get their skills and setups built up. He's pretty much the sole driver who actually drives in any other series. And he's doing quite well for himself in that regard. Coming down the back stretch. Heading for 2 laps to go. Side-by-side battles are pretty much no more with these two. Hear the tires squeal still. Moves down into the turn here. Nice and easy through turns 1 and 2. Past the point of no return. If there is a caution right now, it's pretty much the end of the race. And Kurt Scott will be taking it. And the caution happened right now. David Alvarez, all he's wondering is if something's going to blow out on that 15 to change this outcome. A second place finish stings, but it's pretty good in the points. If I were David, I'd be pretty happy where I'm at right now. Jonathan Fitzwater, after wrecking out earlier on, somehow hanging on in 3rd place. And the white flag is out for Kurt Scott down the backstretch for the final time. And here he goes through turns 3 and 4. Coming down towards the checkered flag. Kurt Scott coming down for his 2nd career win. And he wins his 2nd win at a 2-mile oval at Michigan International Speedway. And congratulations to him. That'll bump Kurt Scott up into second in the point standings. Sean Fay still out in front because of his consistency. Rob Evans in third, David Alvarez fourth, and Adam Harrington fifth in the point standings. Here comes Kurt Scott ready to do his burnout. Is he going to do a burnout over victory lane? Of course he is. And tail slaps the wall. And there you have it, folks. Kurt Scott is your winner, with David Alvarez finishing second, Jonathan Fitzwater finishing third, Sean Fay finishing fourth, and then fifth and sixth would be Max Urich in the 26, Adam Harrington in the 20, both 57, 58 laps down, although they were pretty much off the track, so we will call that pretty much a DNF. Well, thank you all for tuning in today, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jimmy Powell, one of the main commentators for this series, saying farewell, and we'll see you next week with the next race.